Let's switch gears now, everyone. The All Progressives Congress, APC, had its state congresses across the country. Many of the exercises was largely successful, while others concluded with factional and parallel congresses in several states like Osun, Lagos, Ogun, Abia, Kano, and some other states had some sort of divisions. But the party had responded to the outcome and the sort of controversies that emanated from the events of yesterday, some of which dovetailed to today. The party National Caretaker Secretary, Senator Akpan Uduedehe, says in a statement, quote, he says, the purported parallel congresses are futile activities and very strange to the party. Only exercises conducted by duly inaugurated state congress committees are recognized by the party, end of quote. That is the position of the APC on the parallel congresses. But what are the effects of implications of this sort of situation? Let's turn to a former legal advisor of the APC and a senior advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Muiz Banire, who joins us from our Lagos studio. It's good to see you tonight, Mr. Banire, and thank you so much for coming on tonight on the program. Let me begin by asking you, parallel congresses in Ogun, there was a big drama there. In Kano, drama. In Kwara, drama. In Lagos, some drama also. What are the implications of this? This is a party you know too well.
Shehu.
I can hear you now, Mr. Banira. Please go ahead. I can hear you now. If you can come very, very top so that we can hear you loud and clear now.
Thank you very much. I said the implication is simple. That's the fractionalization of the party all over. It started from the world congresses through the local government, the state, and it's not unlike unexpected that even at the national convention you are likely to have the same thing. If you recall vividly, some few months ago, I did predict that it will happen, and certainly the implosion, in my very strong view, is inevitable. And I think that at the end of the day, it's not unlikely that you find a situation where most of these people that are already outside or declared to be outside by the National Secretary of the Caretaker Committee will find their way elsewhere to another platform. And I think that will be the eventual consequence.
I mean, this is what the party is working to avoid. But it looks like it is happening. We had a faction lawyer to Senator Abikunle Amosun. We had one lawyer to the governor, Governor Abiodun. In Kwara State, a faction lawyer to the minister, Lai Mohammed, a faction lawyer to the governor. In Lagos State, we have some other groups who are holding their own. But how can they stop? Because this is going to be the last Congress before the National Convention. If you are predicting that there might be some kind of implosion, what can they do to resolve this?
Well, it seems to be belated. What I would have expected from inception that what you have preceded all these various congresses should have been reconciliation of the differences among the various factions, but unfortunately that failed. Having failed now, it seems that the situation has reached a point of no return. And my expectation is that at the end of the day, some people will be out. And those that are out, most likely, like I said, will find themselves in another platform. So there's nothing actually they can do at this stage. The alternative that they have is for some of them to interrogate the validity and the propriety of the congresses in court. That's the option that they have. Thank you.
But I thought that every of the Congress had an appeal process. What happened to this appeal process? Are they not working? Have they fallen flat on their faces?
Well, it's never worked. I think the structure they put in place this time around is not at all institutionalized. That's the problem. And the way they choke them up, there's no transparency. The whole thing is shrouded in secrecy. I watched some of the proceedings in some of the states, and I discovered that in some of the states, really people do not even know, some people don't even know the venue of congresses until the day. And what are the guidelines? What are the rules? Where is the electoral register, membership register? Where is the credibility in it? Where is the display? Where are the delegates? Who knows who and who are the delegates? So there are so many flaws in the entire process. For me, it will appear to be largely a sham.
Well, if you look at it, the party has set up a Senator Abdullahi Adamu Reconciliation Committee. You know Senator Abdullah, a former governor, a sitting senator, with his pedigree, do you think it can unite the party? There was a time the party set up a Senator Bola Tinubu Reconciliation Committee. From what you've seen in the past and the Senator Adamu Reconciliation Committee, do you think the party can resolve its differences? We seem to be having some issues there. Let's take a quick break. And when we come back, our conversation with Mr. Muiz Banire continues. Join us again, everyone. Everyone, let's continue our conversation with Mr. Muiz Banire, a former national legal advisor of the APC and a senior advocate of Nigeria. Thank you so much for your time tonight, Mr. Banire. That question that I asked you, your response was not quite heard by the guest. I'm asking the Senator Adamu-led Reconciliation Committee, do you see it being able to resolve these problems?
Well, I do not. I'm personally pessimistic about the capacity or the potential of the committee of the body resolving the conflict now. Is the situation of APC right now, as far as I'm concerned, is a situation where it's the cart that is drawing the horse and not the other way around again. So it's already too late in the day to start embarking on any serious reconciliation again. I do not see it happening at all. We've had it before. The way of Chief Akonde earlier, the former chairman and the head of the Reconciliation Committee. Nothing contrary came out of it, as I predicted. So in the same light, I do not see anything positive coming out of this exercise. Thank you.
Let me show you this. There's been this contestation about, and there's a lot of talk about it. And your friend, Senator Bola Tinubu's name is on it. Let me show you the list of those whose name have come up in the APC as possibility of those who will become the candidate of the APC. Bola Tinubu, Yemi Oshibajo, the VP, Yaya Bello, governor of Kogi State, Rocha Zokorocha, former governor of Imo, Rotimi Amechi, former governor of Rivers, and former governor of Akwa Ibom, Godswill Akpabio. First and foremost, let me get your view. Are you one of those who think that someone like Bola Tinubu is perhaps the best candidate that Nigeria needs for president?
I didn't get that. One of the best or the best candidate. Which one have you said?
Yeah, I mean, for those who are supporting him, those who created the slogan, swagger, and the campaign for Bola Tinubu, they feel that he is the best candidate that Nigeria needs to be president. Do you think so?
Oh, of course, that is their own opinion too. All the people that you have shown there now, all of them have their ambition in the first instance is legitimate. And I know that a lot of them there, at least about 4 of them, I can tell you for free, have strong profile that is capable of midwifing the positive transition of the country into the expectation of the majority of Nigerians. So that is, I believe, that's my own view. Undoubtedly, I can tell you for free that he's qualified to run, but as far as I'm concerned, practically every other person on that list is qualified and competent to run equally.
Beyond qualification, what do you make of Bola Tinubu's pedigree in becoming Nigeria's president? Do you think you worked with him? You were a commissioner in his government.
Well, my view of it is that if you look at it from the perspective of governance, like you said earlier about the other party, when the analysis was being done, of course, in terms of governance issues, which is the issue at core, of course, is competent.
But would you, I mean, in all of the candidates or in all of the names that we put forward on the screen today, if you had to pick one out of them, who would you go for?
Well, maybe the way I'm looking at those, the list is inacceptable, and I'm not too sure that you have it exhaustive in the manner that my preference, you have not listed. You seem not to have listed it.
And who would that be?
Most likely to be me.
Who would that be?
Myself.
Oh, you are not. I know it's good that you have told us now that you might be in the running for the #1 seat in the country. That's good. Under what platform? Is it going to be the APC or what party?
Certainly it's not PDP and it will not be APC. Certainly, that much I can tell you.
So you you will be running for president in 2023?
Well, what I can tell you is not to rule it out. It's a possibility. It's very strong probability, sir.
Oh, interesting. That's news. Let me ask you, the National Assembly is working on amending the Electoral Act. And now they're saying that they will go and ensure that direct primaries will be the only mode of primaries. Do you agree with that?
Direct mode? Well, I do not...
Of primaries?
Yes, honestly speaking, I do not see anything wrong with it, except that all the prerequisites that are essential for the successful assumption of direct primary, they are still absent in the system. So I do not see it working in the direction that they are thinking of. In other words, as of today, in virtually all the political parties, I'm yet to see a credible membership register. Are they going to mandate them to display those registers so that people can raise objection before the actual use of it? What kind of identity are they going to use for the purpose of identifying those people? Where are the venue? Where are the logistics? It comes with a lot of logistics. Except those things are in place, it will be a futile exercise. So I expect that before directing or mandating direct primary, those issues ought to have been settled. And they cannot be settled except you also involve the INEC, that is Independent National Electoral Commission. For example, they are supposed to be the monitors of the primary. But in a lot of instances, I've not seen them really do the job well. That must happen. The register itself must be verified, authenticated. The identity of those on the register must be known to all aspirants. A situation where, for example, some few days ago, I was watching the Lagos experiment. Some people wanted to get into the venue and they said, we don't know you. Whereas they haven't seen. I recall vividly for example, writing about a week ago to say he wants to see the list of delegates. If you don't have the list of those who are to participate, there's no way that you can actually get this experiment on. So for me, I have no objection to it, but I do not see it succeeding except those prerequisites are put in place.
It's interesting. Another aspect of it is the electronic transmission of result and the possibility of electronic voting. Are we ripe for electronic voting first and foremost?
Well, of course, maybe you've forgotten, I was one of the first set of people that opposed the National Assembly on the rejection of the electronic transmission. It's a good development. It's the people's will that eventually has prevailed. Left to these people at the National Assembly, they throw us back again. So, and I want to thank INEC in this regard. They are progressive in their thoughts equally. So I'm fully in support of electronic transmission, hoping that in due course also, that will be able to graduate into electronic voting.
Interesting. Let's wrap up the conversation tonight with you. Since you are thinking of becoming Nigeria's president, let me ask you, because the solution that we're looking for, what do you think is a solution to the myriads of problems that this nation is facing? If you were made Nigeria's president or elected as Nigeria's president, what would you do within the very first week of assuming office?
Well, the very first thing I would do is to address the various issues that have been raised by the various agitators. We have agitators all over the country today. Even the bandits themselves, the so-called Boko Haram and people, the people tag terrorists today, the IPOP people, the Southwest Igbo people, all those, in one way or the other, if you listen well, you will find that they all have their various points. This I will first and foremost want to address. For me, I believe we must certainly have a conversation around the various issues that they have identified. Except those conversations take place, we will continue to have a situation where we do not truly have Nigerians in our nation again. We will continue to have people of different regions, Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, and so on and so forth. That's what you find out having at the end of the day. So for me, there is no sense of nationalism in the nation right now, and the only way we can make that happen is to, of course, engage the various ethnic nationalities and let us see their grievances. Let's put it on the table, and then let's negotiate it effectively. Some people call it restructuring. Well, it may well be, but it must happen. It's a conversation that is inevitable if this country must move forward. Otherwise, we continue to be where we are now, which is not enviable at all.
Is it going to be like a national conference for you to engage them? Or how exactly would you go about it?
Well, I would prefer that kind of, any form of national dialogue, any form. It can be a conference, it can be representative, like whichever way. One thing I know is that there must be conversation around all the issues the agitators are brought up. Except we do that, we will continue to threaten our own sovereignty internally.
Mr. Muiz Banira, it's always a pleasure listening to you. And we'll be looking forward to you officially declaring. You probably have done that tonight in wanting to become the Nigeria's president. Thank you so much indeed for your time tonight. Senior Advocate of Nigeria and former legal advisor of the APC, Mr. Muiz Banira.